Hello, everybody, and welcome to another tabletop review brought to you by me, Tabletop Junkie. And today we are covering the Chronicles of Aeres, or Ares. We're going to call it Ares. I'm going to say Ares. I hope I'm not butchering that, but the Chronicles of Aeres. Now, before we get into the review, I want to say a few things about what made me want to do this review. Well, I've been in the Chronicles of Aeres. I've actually been into waiting to see this book come out. And I think when I first discovered Greg Lambert, I believe is his name, Mr. Greg Lambert. He's the writer of the Chronicles of Aeres. He was promoted on Twitter. I first joined is when I first got my channel, and I first started posting back in, I think it was March of 22. So it's been a little over a year now. I came across this website. The Chronicles of Aeres was not out yet. I think this was out. It was the Doom that came to Astraeus that wasn't, which is another book that he wrote that takes place in this fictional setting that he created, this fantasy setting. Like I said, I discovered this and I was amazed by the artwork. I do have the title page right there, the book cover right there. No, that's not actually the book cover per se. That is literally just the cover of the book of a picture that I got. I wanted to show that off so that way people, know what I'm talking about, because he is a indie developer, and we're kind of into supporting indie developers in today's time, given recent events that I'm not going to mention on the stream. So I wanted to talk about the Chronicles of Aeres because I've been into trying to get this book for some time now, and I finally ended up getting it, I think a couple weeks ago. And I just been thumbing through it and whatnot. I definitely got into it big when he did he did another book, but he did it for a Castles and Crusades game. And the setting was converted to Castles and Crusades. And it was like, oh my god, that is so awesome. He's starting to do that now. So, and why he started doing that is also going to remain off the stream. Because that's his business and I'm not going to explain it. So, plus, I don't think it's much of a secret, given, again, recent events. But we're not here about all that. So, let's get into the Chronicles of Aeres. I've been really wanting to do a review on this for some time now. And I was like, I'm finally going to do it. It is going to be today. So, let's talk about the Chronicles of Aeres. We are going to show off some artwork. Some actual artwork that he actually has in here. I want to take a moment and do that now. Before we get into any major talks. So, let me see if I can back that off a bit. So, yep, the title page, yes. He is an awesome writer. And if he is drawing this art, he's awesome too. He definitely knows how to get a depiction of what he wants to how he wants to represent his world. Given, just the high fantasy setting. You got a dragon face behind here. I think this is a orc of some kind. Either orc or evil human. And then you got the satyr, and you got like a wizard right here. A little wild kind, wild thing. And then a dragonborn. What is a dragonborn? But he actually has renamed them and made the setting his own. And he did a very good job of it. I really love it. And then this is the page where he talks about the wilder kind. Well, he doesn't do it here. He uses this same title page, I think, for that book. Let me check real quick to see what it is. Because I ended up buying that book too. Ended up buying a lot of stuff from. Yep, the Wilder Kind is what it's called. He used this in the Wilder Kind book that was built with Castles and Crusades. So he has reused some of his artwork. So I do love that though. But he knows he just changes it too and makes it seem like it's new and refreshing, a refreshing place. So he may use his artwork, but he may change something minor in the artwork. I don't know if that's actually true or not. I just think this looks good, but I think it looks better on that other title page as well. So, before we get too much into it, we're not going to go through the information while I'm screen sharing. You guys can see this wonderful title page while I'm doing that. I'm sorry. I'm just not into showing off people's work like that. I want to show off their work, but not where you guys can see and stop and pause the video. Sorry, but I'm very adamant about that. That is a pet peeve of mine. I cannot do that where you use this video to go, hey, that looks cool. Let's go through it piece by bitty piece. I'm not sure if anybody would do that, but I'm also not going to give you the chance to do that. So there we are. All right, let's talk about this. The first page after the title page is actually the world map of Aeres, which is in 2 pages. I freaking love that. I love on how he added a world map at the beginning of the book versus the end, so you actually know what you're getting into. And honestly, that's how I think some of the Tolkien books are too. So he definitely has some inspiration from Tolkien, or or at least for how the books are formatted. Either or, however you want to go about that. But I just love a map at the beginning of the book. So let's move on to the first chapter. So the first chapter is literally an introduction to the setting and a history of his entire realm of Aeres. The biggest thing is he covers this within 50 pages, but he spends a lot of time detailing each and every age. It does even have a contents overview page, and it does have the present day. And it does talk about the current day issues that you could have in Aeres. And then it does a timeline summary of Aeres where it talks about the other ages, where it starts off with the first age, which is the ephemeral eon, the immortal age. Then it goes in the age of mysticism, the skewering of essence, the dragons of strife, the heroic age, the return of darkness, and age of steel and sorrow. And then it goes into the present age of dragonfire, and then it goes into themes and adventures that you could have in Aeres. He covers, this is I can't express to you guys how very detailed this is. I spend a lot of time, believe it or not, I spent more time in the first chapter because I keep going back to reading it. Out of all else, I'm still grasping everything that has happened in the worlds of Aeres, and he has actually immersed the detail. Maybe I can share. See if there's something. Oh, also, biggest thing I actually have to point out too is he also shares excerpts as he's doing this. So yeah, I actually totally love that. Excerpts, stuff like letters from fictional characters and whatnot to actually put you in that realm. Oh hey, I'm really actually there. So yeah, I do like on how he's got this set up. I am gonna share this because this is very creative. Very creative. So this is talking about the timeline. This is how he's got the timeline. And he represents it. So this is all the green. This is the ephemeral eon. I'm not sure how many years represents by a dot. I just like on how he designed that though. It seems like it's some of the ages have been short-lived. Oh, actually says it right here. Over 5,000 years, right there. And this is from nearly 5,000 years to year 0. I just like the creativity of the artwork on that. And then it begins going into each and every age. He actually spends a good page on each one, if not more. Right now you guys are seeing pretty much a page. Alright, we're going to put that away. So, it is very well detailed. Like I said, he does that for about just about 50 pages, actually. So, bravo. I definitely got to give him a thumbs up on the detail and the artwork, because that is totally the best part about this. This is what makes me... I don't really have to imagine much. I can actually just, see it, and it's right there. There's a representation on every page. So, after you get through the history of Aeres, it goes into the nature of magic, okay? So magic here works just a little bit differently, and as you guys know, this is built for 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons. However, if you are a real gamer, you can pretty much convert it to any setting that you would like, depending on, if you want to take the time or not. Me personally, I'd rather do Castles and Crusades in the Siege engine. I think that would be pretty freaking awesome. But that's just me though. So it goes into the nature of magic, which in this one it discusses how magic works, and there is basically something called the Aether, and then it even has the Aetheric Sphere. It has a page representation of what this thing is. So magic does work a little bit differently. Like I said, can't stress enough. It just operates a little bit differently than normal, which gives it its actual own essence that, you know, you can use, like, you use D&D 5th edition for it, but, you know, that's what it's built for, but it also works differently than normal D&D. He does go into utilizing it as a gameplay concept, so it's like, you know, he actually basically tells you how to use it, so, and how it basically works. Like I said, I think I keep repeating myself on that one. It's hard to really say. You'd actually have to check it out. I don't want to share anything from it due to copyright personal things. And like I said, I'm here just to give a review on it. This is actually a good chunk of the book as well. He actually does not skimp on any of the details, and he has plenty of excerpts and examples of how this actually works. So, once again, information is clearly not scarce in this whatsoever. And then he begins going into the origin and nature of the magic and how it works with clothes, weapons, omens. And then he begins talking about the pantheons, or the gods and goddesses of this realm. He has his own gods and goddesses that don't actually fit in any other, that, you know, he did not take from, to my knowledge, did not take from any known source, because these are like completely, to me, completely original. That's the word I'm looking for. So let's talk about this one. Alright. He has Eros, the bastion of the sun, courageous god of light, of the harvest, of craftsmanship, and fraternity. And then Caridas. I love it because this is like, okay, so you got a manticore, what looks to be a manticore, a flaming ox, Lornifas, the nest watcher, gentle goddess of the world, goddess world. Okay, gentle goddess of the world, tree of maturity, of color, and of curiosity. And that's basically a dragon god. I love it. Eagle god. And that is clearly a minotaur god. Marina the imp. So that is an imp. Trickster god of illusion and theater, of mischief, of riddles, and of the sky. That's probably like a bad one. Gipta, maiden of fate, which is like a human god. Another human one. Yeah, so, and this is probably a bad one, so. I mean, obviously the skeleton. I love it. Completely original ideas. And I think they even talk about the dragons of strife, which is Seos, the silver champion, and Calcurith, the dragon of darkness. So, dragon pantheons as well, which we don't get to see much artwork on that, so that is, it is what it is there. One of the things that Magic actually comes with is he even has built in, and I do love this, he has built in a rune system. And these magic runes isn't generally by any one type of magic user. And here's some more artwork. Look at that. That is just magnificent art. Magnificent. So, as you guys can see here, I'll pull it back up. Runes. Now, in Castles and Crusades, this would actually really be a good setting for Castles and Crusades because you can even add in these runes for the rune mark. Rune mark would definitely be a thing in the realm of Aeres. So, I definitely do love that. Alright, so, and then it begins talking about the races of Aeres. So, these ones, he even changed some of the names of them. So, you obviously have humans, but there's different types of humans as well. Like the Eroser, which is time-sworn heroes of the realm. So, living descended people from the immortal Eros, the lord of the earth and the father of all humanity, are uncommon in the current age. Many of the kind dwell unknowingly across the land, perhaps even unaware of their ancestry. Erosins. which is different than a normal human. So they do have one for normal human. Then he has actual human like archetypes that could have like different types of lineage and stuff. And he actually does this for all the other races as well. So there's like many different types of humans. Then there's gray dwarves. Then there's the Frostfigures, which is warriors of ice and snow, dwarves from the ice, dwarves in the north, the northern dwarves. We even have the mystic kobolds. What else do we have? We have like tons. The Stygian kobolds, two different types of kobolds. The Silverleaf elves. I think we even have Twilight elves in here too. Which is the next one, Twilight elves. That is totally. And then it even has stuff about half elves and half dwarves of Aeres as well. May have to look into that because that seems like an interesting concept. Then you even have some like other types of races that are probably like, say for instance, the Dreamer, Children of the Forest, Pixie sprites, fairies, Ophies, the Hasmorans have plenty of names for the bright-eyed small folk who dwell in the woodlands north of Irulan. Nice. So it even has some races to that is to this setting specifically. So I do like that. We're not going to go through them all because there is a lot, but I did want to touch base with. So let's see, we got the Dregular, the Hinterfolk, and the Wonderlings, and then you got the wilder kind, which everyone which Aeres is pretty common for. So you got the Gladefolk, the Radivir, the Ravenveer, the Argent Draconveer, and then the Tainted Draconveer. And then there's more. Like the Gladefolk is more than just like one type of looking. Like they have many different shapes and different forms. For instance, I believe the Gladefolk. Let's see. I'm trying to find here. Oh, right here. Yep. So the wilder kind, and they have different types of breeds. They have the Bajornavir, which is bearfolk, the Draconveer, which is dragonkin, the Icorveer, which is squarefolk, Grinvenveer, which is badger kind. It has tons and tons. Maybe not tons. Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So it has like 11 different species and the wilder kind, as well as there's some additional that he goes heavily into. So that is the first 3 chapters of the book. Definitely no small skimp on information whatsoever. So definitely thumbs up there. And then it goes. He even actually goes as far as incorporating class and background options. So there is some class considerations. He did actually change some of the core classes. Some he didn't. Some he did. And then he even added 3 new classes for himself, such as the Witch, the Alchemist, and Dreamcaller. And then some background options for the world of Aeres that actually fits in the world that would help fit your character in this kind of realm. So definitely thumbs up there. Then he goes into a section of allies and enemies, and even as a bestiary, where they talk about cultists, the Dragonveer overlords, dragons, goblins, the Goblin King, many different types to go in there, and even has wights and Witchfinder. Oh, and before I keep going, so the 3 new classes that he actually added in, and he did a full markup with these, and did very well on this. The Witch, the Alchemist, and the Dreamcaller. Definitely would love to convert those to the Siege Engine sometime. I was actually thinking about that, and like, oh my god, that is so awesome. I have looked into those classes. They are not overly powered classes whatsoever, and they definitely fit into this world. Chapter 6, he actually goes into what you call a gazetteer, which, if you guys know anything about the early 1980s, there was gazetteers that was developed for many different types of worlds, such as Mystara, Birthright, Eberron, and so on and so forth. So he actually goes into each what you call province or each section of land of his world, and goes into these towns. Gives you a full description on what they are. For instance, we'll go with King's Crossing. I want to say something about that, but not going to. I don't know. When I say King's Crossing, it reminds me of King's Landing from Game of Thrones. I am such a nerd. So, King's Crossing and the Gate of Grenfell. Twin bridges, vast and carved from gray hill stone, supported by heavy granite columns, span the rivers of southern provinces. King's Crossing, south of Taldorius, and the Gate of Grenfell to eastwards, Tristanvar. Both bridges built by the Lancaster at the beginning of the era, and particularly identical, and they could almost be considered interchangeable, at least in terms of appearance and importance. And there's even he even has a quest. The Siren Song, low to mid-level for either area. Nice. So yeah, and he even shares maps of these towns too. If it's like a town, he shares maps. It's very nice. Here, let me share a little bit of this. I will share a little bit of this. So yeah, like I read this section here, and then Tristanvar. He does very well. I love this artwork. That looks like a vampire and the blood moon. Alright, so getting that off there. He definitely goes a bit more detailed with his world just to give you, like, basically give you ideas about how to, maybe come up with, like, quest ideas and adventure ideas, so on and so forth. And he shares a lot of good artwork too, so I do love that. And then it does go into like other, like Astraeus and other realms of the world of Aeres that the world of Aeres is actually connected to. Astraeus, I believe, is another part of the world, and it does say other realms, so I'm not sure what the other realms are, but I guess maybe you guys got to get the book and find out for yourselves. I do recommend it. His prices are fair. Alright, and then it does go into artifacts of Aeres, such as potions, the Witchfire Lantern, Book of Black Rose, Black Glass Mirrors, so on and so forth. And then it goes into several adventures. He actually spends about 20 pages or so, roughly. Chapter 7 is adventure ideas for the realm of Aeres, on top of quest ideas and other things that he has shared throughout the book. He has shared this in multiple locations of the book, and once again, gives you a very well insight in that, so thumbs up for that as well. So, alright, going from there, I pretty much give him a thumbs up on each and every section of this book. Is there anything else that I would like to see? Oh, I'd like to see more. If there ever is any more in Aeres, I'd like to see more. If not, that's awesome too. I've definitely been very well immersed into this. He did just come out with like a book recently, which was an adventure path, not adventure path. It was a small module regarding Padfoot Alley, which I think he went and played at a con. So yeah, and he said it was actually very well known and everybody loved it. So I don't know if there's really any more else that he could have thrown in here. He looked like he spent a lot of time working and refining this to get this final product out, and this is a very good product, so I have no complaints here. So I always have room for improvement. I never score a book 10 out of 10 unless I'm a fanboy. I'm definitely a fanboy of this, so it is a 10 out of 10. Definitely a must read. The prices, once again, are very fair. But if I had to pick a not so nice way of rating this, I would say 9 out of 10, regardless. I would give no less than a 9 out of 10 on this one. Definitely a must pick up. So we're going to go to Drive-Thru RPG, and I'm going to give you guys the prices. And I think you guys can get it also through his own website, which I will also share in a link in my description. So All right, so the Chronicle of Aeres setting book right now is on sale for almost 50% off. It was $16.99. It is now $7.99. That's for the PDF only. I don't know if it has a print on demand. Um, I don't know if it has a print on demand thing, but Mike through his actual website, which I will share that. He does have a few other books on here, so definitely check those out. Oh, and there is the Chronicle of Aeres Explorers pack, which comes with a world map of Aeres. Nice. The Chronicle of Aeres Shadows of Padfoot Alley. Definitely some one extra thing I don't have. I wonder how much that map is though. Oh, he doesn't have it by itself. And that is currently 1247. Definitely worth picking up. I don't have that. I'm not going to pick it up just for the map, only for the simple fact that I already have all the other books. So yeah. There's a map in the book. So I'm going to share this with you guys. I gotta get this link here. And then let me put this on something real quick so that way I can get it right in the description. Alright, and then my last one. I'm going to go to his actual website and share that as well. Alright, let's see here. Actually, let me get his home page. There we go. And you guys can explore these sites together for his product. And hopefully, yeah, you guys can go from there. So, well, that's everything that I have at this time. For those who tuned in, I appreciate it. For the future viewers, please like and subscribe. I am trying to reach 130 subscribers before Friday. Reason being is because I have more Castle and Crusade stuff coming out, more gaming stuff and adventure stuff. So yeah, definitely check me out sometime. Well, once again, I want to let everyone know, thank you for tuning in. And remember to work hard, play hard, game on, everybody. Have a great and wonderful day.